What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the P4G Team Builders. This week, I'm going up against Cykomore, and I'm going to be putting up his team right about now. His team consists, I don't have it in front of me. I'm just going to do it in post-editing because I'm lazy as shit. He has like Mew, Manaphy, Mamoswine. I know he has those three with the three M's. He has Umbreon. He has Mega Garchomp. He has... Actually, you know what? I think I have it up in Safari. Let me just go ahead and take it. Actually, no, I don't. Give me a second. Okay, so his team consists of Manaphy, Mamoswine, Umbreon, Darmanitan, Virizion, Lantern, Mega Garchomp, Mew, Klefki, Claydol, and Rotom Lemo. So, here's a couple of things about his team right off the bat that I know. First off, about the trainer in general, the player, he's very creative. He's not willing to just stick to, like, defensive Mew, even though that is pretty much his only form of hazard control because he does have a Claydol. So, since he does have less than average hazard removal options, he's not forced to bring defensive Mew, and that's something that I knew going into this, and I knew that's something that he was okay with doing going into this. It's also good to note that his team is predominantly it's mostly physical, okay? His only two, like, designated special attackers are Manaphy and Rotom. Everything else is either physical or mixed, and that's Mamoswine, Virizion, Mew, Mega Garchomp. So, to deal with his walls, I kind of just went, okay, I have to bring berries for the special, and I have to bring really good physical walls that can check almost any form of the physical things that could come. So, whenever I went to looking at his team, I was like, okay, first off, I have a Suicune. That means that Manaphy with Energy Ball, Tail Glow, that has to come. Because if he doesn't bring that, my Suicune can pretty much sit in there all day long and nothing can happen to him. Because if he wants to bring his Virizion to check it, then I can kind of sort of stall it out if I have Ice Beam, or I could carry Extra Sensory or Hidden Power Flying for it, and then it's basically completely useless. So I have to keep that in mind whenever I'm facing the Manaphy. I think that Mamoswine is 153,000% coming to this game. I have a Lando, which is quad weak to ice. I have a Togekiss, which is weak to ice. I have a Jirachi, which is weak to earthquake. I have a Mega Houndoom, which is weak to ground. So I have a lot of things weak to Mamoswine. Mamoswine is 110% coming to this game, and I also think Mega Garchomp is for sure coming to this game, just because I really expect him to try to go with like an SD sweep, because if he can set up an SD on my Suicune, and if I don't have Roar, he can pretty much sweep through my entire team if I don't play it correctly. Mew and Umbreon are also two things that I fully expect to come, because they're pretty much his main walls for this game, because Lantern doesn't really match up too well against my team, because I do have the likes of Lando unless he has a Shuka Berry, and even then I can U-turn out on it, scout for it, and figure things out that way. Klefki, even with Magnet Rise, it doesn't want to take on Lando-wise super well. So there is a couple things, because I could run things like Gravity and still do a lot of damage to it. So that's basically what I'm expecting from him. I could also see Rotom coming, because it's a very easy check to my Suicune, and it can force me out literally every single time. But since I knew that Mamoswine was the one thing that I knew, more than anything, Mamoswine is coming, and it's going to be his main win condition, just because it's so scary. It is so scary for my entire team that I had to bring a physically defensive Mesprit. What this Mesprit does is it 110% checks every single form of Mamoswine, even Life Orb, Band, everything. I can get a good amount of damage off on it to where I can take it out with priority that I have later on. The Cobra Berry is because the only thing that Lando can really do to this thing to do a massive amount of damage is knockoff, and if I can weaken its knockoff with Cobra Berry, then I'm good to go. I can get up Stealth Rocks for free turn 1 no matter what. I can get off a good Psychic, and get off about 40% on the Mamoswine, and I can gain a lot of switch initiative with Mesprit, specifically because I do have U-turn. His two walls that I think will be coming to the game in Mew and Umbreon are both weak to U-turn, so I'm able to U-turn out on them and gain some really good initiative from this. Thunder Wave is there because I have a little bit of a meme, quote unquote, I guess you could say. And if I can slow down his walls, I'm 100% guaranteed to outspeed them. Even if they are not walls, I'll be able to outspeed them. And I'm fine with paralyzing literally everything on his team, from the Manaphy to the Darmanitan, which I can take a hit from. The Mamoswine I cannot paralyze, but again, I check it extremely well. I can paralyze the Virizion and make it so much easier to deal with. And if I paralyze the Mew and the Umbreon, that just makes my job a whole lot easier. Mesprit is a big win condition because it gets up rocks, which is really good against this team. Honestly, the chip damage is absolutely amazing. Puts a lot of his team in range of other hitters that you'll see later on. And it checks the biggest threat to my team. The next mon that I wanted to bring was Roarcoon. Specifically Roarcoon with Mirror Coat Rest. Just because his team is super weak to Suicune. Because his only way of checking it is either Rotom-Mow or Tail Glow Energy Ball with Manaphy. Manaphy can't switch in on this thing because if he wants to Tail Glow up on me, I can roar it out. And Energy Ball, if it's not boosted, does less than 50%. So I'm still going to be able to roar it out into something that can't kill me, rest up, and I'm back up to full health right where I was. Mirror Coat is there because if I can kind of sort of scout what he's going to do, like if he's going to try to Tail Glow up on me and I roar him out, he's going to know he can't set up on me, and he's going to try to Energy Ball me right away next time he's in with his Manaphy on my Suicune, and I can Mirror Coat it and kill it. There's also a really good way to check like Choice Scarf Rotom-Mow. I can live a Volt Switch and just get a kill as long as he doesn't go into his Umbreon, so that's really nice, and Scald is absolutely amazing for his entire team. The only thing that really wants to take it on 1v1 or take Scald burns is his Lantern, because it can be immune to Scald. Everything else doesn't really want to take burns or Scald burns, and that's awesome. Love Suicune. Big shout out to Zephyr. Big supporter of the channel. Absolutely. I'm so grateful that he supports the channel. Anyway, the next mon. This right here. This thing right here that you can't see my mouse circling because I don't have my mouse turned on. This is my win condition. This is going to tear apart every single one of his walls. Even if he brings physically defensive Mew, this is going to tear apart his walls because I'm Choice Banded Technician Hitmontop. Max attack adamant with max speed. What this allows me to do is this allows me to outspeed defensive Mew by 1 point. Even if he has like 12 EVs, I still outspeed by 1 point. But if he's like speed creeping something, I won't be able to outspeed it. So I have to keep that in mind. I have to play around that a little bit. But this Choice Banded Facade, if he has Toxic me or Burnt me from his Mew, it does like 50% minimum to physically defensive Mew, and that's amazing. I'm so excited to see if it works. Close combat just straight up decimates physically defensive Umbreon. Like it's not even funny how much damage it does. I think it kills like 2,000 Umbreons. It does so much damage. And then Mach Punch and Earthquake. Mach Punch is there because it cleans up his offensive threats that are massive to my team. Like Darmanitan, for example, does like 60% to Darmanitan. So after switching to rocks, 1 recoil damage or 1 life orb hit, he dies to Mach Punch. Mamoswine, it does like 85% minimum. So after 1 switch into rocks, it's a guaranteed OHKO. Well, for the most part, it's practically an OHKO. And Earthquake is also there for the Klefki. If he does not have Magnet Rise, it does a clean like 75-80% to it. So realistically, if I get a free switch into my Hitmontop, he does not have a free switch into it. Like, he can't switch in anything without thinking, okay, how am I able to switch into this thing without taking 50%? And if he does not expect the Facade, or if he expects me to go for a close combat on his Umbreon, his Mew will be 2-hit KO'd. I just have to make sure he's not faster than me, because I will lose my Hitmontop, and that's a massive win condition that I have to keep until late game. It does a good chip damage. It does a good amount to Virizion because I am Choice Bandit's Adamant Technician. It does about 55%. So if he switches into rocks a couple times and I can whittle him down a little bit, it'll be pretty cool. So I'm hoping it works out. I'm so hoping it works out. The next mod on the team is going to be also a pretty crucial member of the team, and that is going to be my Yache Berry Rose Raid. Now, if you'll notice, I already had a Cobra Berry in Mesprit. I'm having a Yache Berry in my Rose Raid. I love my berries so much. With max HP, 228 in speed, I outspeed Mamoswine 100% of the time, no matter what happens under every single circumstance. I think I also outspeed Modest Manaphy, is something I speed creeped. I think there's a couple things I speed creeped at this to make sure I can outspeed, but Yachi Berry. I can live a +3 Ice Beam from Manaphy, go for a Leaf Storm, and completely OHKO it unless it has a berry, and it does a crap ton of damage. If you also notice, I have Sludge Bomb there. Sludge Bomb is mainly there in case I don't want to risk a Leaf Storm against something like the Darmanitan. If I know that he's U-turning out or something like that, or he's over-predicting, which is stupid, but if he switches in his Darmanitan, I don't want to be going for a Leaf Storm, I want to be going for a Sludge Bomb. Stone Spore is pretty unique because I said here that I want to be able to paralyze everything on his team, and since I can't paralyze his Mamoswine, might as well use Stun Spore to try to paralyze his Mamoswine. That's awesome. And it's 75% accurate, which I don't really like. However, if I have like a legitimate free hit, like if I have this thing in against his Manaphy, and he knows he can't kill me with anything, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Stun Spore and I'm going to paralyze something. Or if he Ice Beams me, I'm going to Stun Spore it, and if I hit it, I will outspeed it the next turn no matter what, and I'll be able to Leaf Storm it, and I'll still be able to kill it. I'll just make sure that if he switches out, it's easier to take on later on. And then you see Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes are super important because if I can get his walls poisoned, if I can get things like his Manaphy, his Mamoswine, his Mega Garchomp, so much of his team, if I can just get the residual damage of rocks plus a turn of poison, it puts so much in range to be easily 2-hit KO'd by Mach Punch from Choice Banded Hitmontop. That means that if I have it in, I can get free kills, and free kills are always fun and enjoyed. But Roserade, absolutely love it. I can switch into Thunder Waves from the Mew, Will-O-Wisps, everything like that, and just switch right back out because I have Natural Cure, and that's awesome. I kind of wish I could put Synthesis on this set, but these 4 moves were so necessary because I wanted to be able to paralyze everything. I wanted to poison what I couldn't paralyze, or poison his walls, and then I needed Sludge Bomb and Leaf Storm. I just needed those couple moves. Now, I'm going to skip over the Togekiss set because specifically that Togekiss set I changed. Massively, I changed it. So I'm going to go, like, I changed it before the game. So I'm just going to go over to my Yachi Berry Lando. Again, another Yachi Berry. Super weak to Ice. I have to be able to play around it pretty well. Earth Power, Focus Blast, Knockoff, and Hidden Power Ice. Just max HP to outspeed the Manaphy. If I can weaken it, like to about 50%, I completely OHKO it. So that's also why this is very important, because if I don't want to risk the Leaf Storm, I can go for a Sludge Bomb. If he has no HP investment, I'll do about enough after rocks, and I can just go into Lando afterwards and kill it with an Earth Power, and that's amazing. Focus Blast there just for Umbreon, obviously. Knockoff is there for the Mew, and then Power Ice is there specifically for the Mega Garchomp. Now, with the Yachi Berry, I cannot live an Icicle Crash from Mamoswine. I can only live an Ice Shard. So, if he's Choice Scarf Mamoswine, which I don't think he will be, I think he'll be bringing like Life Orb. I'm kind of sort of screwed with my Lando set. I have to make sure for a fact that he is not scarfed before I can send this thing in on Lando. The Yachi Berry comes in handy. I can take random Hidden Power Ices from things, no problem. I can take Ice Shard from Lando. I can take Ice Beam. I can take one Ice Beam. One Ice Beam from Manaphy. Scald still does a hell of a lot, but Ice Beam still, I can take one and go for an pound to it, KO it if I feel that that's necessary. But yeah, this thing is just pretty out for his team. It's out for any team. That's why it's a Landorus. That's why it's banned from Smogon. So, this Togekiss set. I'm going to show you what I brought, and then I'm going to show you what I brought to my practice game. So, this is a Choice Scarf Togekiss. So, to my game, I brought a pretty speedy, bulky-ish Charty Berry Togekiss. That was because I figured that I wanted this thing to be able to kill Garchomp, Mega Garchomp, no matter what the circumstance was. In order to do that, I needed to be able to live one of its super effective moves that it can use against me. The problem that I had with that set was the fact that he could bring Iron Head, Poison Jab, Stone Edge, or Rock Slide. So do I run Charty Berry and risk Iron Head to it KOing me and flinching me? Do I run Poison Jab and risking being adamant and OHKOing me? Like, there's a lot of things I had to take into consideration with that. And at the end of the day, when I had my practice match, I was like, okay, this Togekiss set did absolutely nothing. But if you look at his team, he has not a lot that wants to switch into Choice Scarf Togekiss. Mamoswine doesn't want to switch into it. However, if he's Life Orbed, I will be able to outspeed it, and I can take one Ice Shard because I do have a lot of HP investment. Because as you can see, I'm modest. I'm very powerful. This is base 120 special attack. Do you see this number right here? That's crazy. 189. 189 special attack. That's so much special attack. Anyway, Mamoswine, Umbreon, Darmanitan doesn't want to switch into Air Slash. His Virizion cannot take an Air Slash, and I don't even think it can take a regular Dazzling Gleam. I didn't check that. But Lantern doesn't really want to switch into it. Mega Garchomp takes about 85% minimum from Dazzling Gleam, and it is just super out for his team. The only thing on his team that wants to switch into Choice Scarf Togekiss is his Klefki. So that means I have to run Heat Wave. I'm okay with that because I don't need 4 moves. As you can see, my 4th move is Baton Pass. If I want to be able to switch into this thing, if I want to have this thing in, scout him out a little bit, see what he wants to do, I can Baton Pass the heck on out of there, see what he's going to switch into, gain some switch initiative, and hopefully get a free switch into my Hitmontop and get a kill. And that's what I'm really hoping this thing can do with Baton Pass. So make sure that I can get some slow switch initiative off, and then hopefully give me like a free kill every single time. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Will it happen? Probably not. It's a Choice Scarf Togekiss. It's there to be ow. But that's basically the team. Let me know what you guys think of it down below. Let me know if you think I'm running too many berries. And if you think I'm running too many berries, I'm going to tell you that I'm not running too many berries. I should be running more. But let me know what you guys think of the team. Again, I'm facing Cykomore. He's a French YouTuber, so if you do not speak French, you will not understand his videos. But if you do speak French, his link will be down in the description below. I strongly urge you all to go check him out. He's an awesome dude. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, I think. I'm tired. I've been rambling for 17 minutes now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the battle tomorrow. Bye-bye.